Hera Björk, how are you doing?
I am doing so great. How are you doing, Stuart?
I'm doing very well. As I understand, I'm talking with you just before you're about to head off to Malmö. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. It is. We're leaving in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. We're all going to be meeting up and going together to the airport. So my life is now surrounded by suitcases that I'm trying to Tetris my way through. Uh, Try to get everything that matters to fit in there, and then we're just gonna have to see what I'm bringing.
I mean, it seems like it's always something that you have to struggle with whenever you're, especially going for somewhere for so long, where you need to be always looking the best and feeling your best as possible. Of course,
Yeah.
leading up to this moment, you had been doing a lot of traveling as well. You had appeared at a number of pre-parties. What did you
Yeah.
like most about that experience?
Meeting the people, talking to the fans, meeting my fellow contestants. Amazing. So good to connect and just have the chats and deliberate on everything that's been going on, and just so good to dive your toes a little bit into the bubble, the vibe, the Eurovision love that's just out there waiting to, how do you say, waiting to burst. Everyone is like, can't wait to just like, let it all out. So it was really, really nice. Get all the hugs and all the little chats. They're priceless.
And unlike the majority of performers who were also doing that, when you got to go on stage, you also had the chance to perform your 2010 song "Je Ne Sais Quoi." What kind of reaction did you get when you were able to, sing that classic?
Oh, but just amazing. Of course, everyone sings along, and I had like people in tears in front of me. It's just so fantastic to see how emotionally connected people are with that song and with me because of that song. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I got to meet like young people that are like maybe in like 20 plus years old, that were like 8 years or 12 years or old when they first heard Je ne sais quoi, and it's been with them all through their Eurovision like experience ever since. And that is so it's just that's so precious for me to meet them, because of course what I've been doing for 14 years is to travel the world and sing this song, but it's been with the more mature Eurovision community.
Mm-hmm.
But now to see them there, and it's just a new generation, and still they absolutely adore the song. So that's so such an honor.
It sounds lovely. And this year, you're going to have that opportunity to reach another generation with a new song, Scared of Heights. I
Yeah.
understand that when you heard it for the first time, you said it only took about 30 seconds for you to connect to it. And what was it
Yeah.
exactly that jumped out at you about the song?
It was so many things. It was the melody, it was the production, the sound of it. The sound world is like current yet old fashioned. It suits me well. Well, I'm very current, still very old fashioned. So it really yeah resonated with me in so many on so many levels. I've had a girl crush also for a long time on the for Austis, the songwriter. She's such an amazing artist, songwriter, and performer. So I was just like, yeah, this really feels right, and it still does, even though a lot of things has happened from our first, like the spark from the beginning. It's still there, and it's grown and it's deepened, and so it's still, but it's still there. I'm really, really looking forward to bring this song um, into the Eurovision world. And yeah, I mean, this contest is about the songs, and there are so many good songs this year. There's something for everyone. And I just can't wait to see what happens there, because I know magic happens, like when we all come together, and well, when how do you say, stars align, magic happens.
Indeed. And one thing that I really liked hearing you talk about was the sentiment of being scared of heights, about confronting your fears. And I thought
Yeah.
that was so interesting because looking at some of the things that you've done, because it hasn't just been one participation in Eurovision, it's, in addition to this one, you've also been there as a backing vocalist and as a vocal coach. You've also
Yeah.
competed at Viña del Mar, which has
Yeah.
an audience that is a bit notorious for loudly vocalizing their disapproval. That
Yeah.
didn't seem to be your case, however. You said that you lived in South America. You've gone back to school as an adult. And so, like, I thought it was really interesting because it doesn't seem like you're somebody that is, like, held back by fear.
Well, we all are at some point. And the trick is to know how to push through it. We all always pause and ask ourselves, maybe even not pause, we like really like we take steps, we step back sometimes. And I do that a lot of times, but I always go through this conversation with myself. What will happen if I don't do this? Will I regret this? And I don't want to be an old woman regretting things. So I know that I'm not scared of heights, and even if I were, I would push through it. And the song is more of a question. I like it says in the lyrics, like, baby, baby, I'm wondering, has falling in love made me scared of heights, or can falling in love make me scared of heights? And the answer is yes, definitely, because falling in love, or like leaning towards something or someone and in a passionate way, makes you more vulnerable. So it absolutely can hurt you. And that can absolutely make you afraid of doing things again. But this is life. This is something we have to always do things again. Otherwise, we come to a stop, and life, and we if you just let fear control you, that's it. Nothing happens. You're in a standstill. So I really, really connect with the lyrics, because I've multiple times been scared shitless of multiple things, and I
Mm-hmm.
still am. But on we go.
Mm-hmm. So, in a sense, it's almost like an ode to those moments that you have confronted your fears and, like done so with pride.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of the song, because of course I just hear it. Austis writes it, and this is her what do you say, interpretation of a love relationship she had. But when it comes into my arms, I read it and I do my version of it, how I connected with me and my history and my relationship with love, or with people, or with work, or whatever it is. So yeah, it really, really resonated with me that fear is something that we need to control. We need to have fear, um, like on our winning team. It needs to work for me, not against me, because it's going to be there all the time. It's always there, and it's good. Fear is good for us to know which way to turn, or if to step into right or left foot first, or and also when we meet people or come close to circumstances that we know that we should step out of.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is our friend. So that's how I deal with fear.
Mm-hmm. You sort of embrace it.
Yeah, I just keep it close to me. I keep your
Got it.
enemies close.
Uh, no, I really like the way that you've articulated that. Now, I also understand that this hasn't been the easiest time for you, considering the outcome of Sungvakepnin, some of the developments that happened after that.
Yeah.
Iceland in general, or Ruv, I should say, has faced a lot of criticism for participating with Israel. You yourself have also faced criticism for that. Asdis, who you've mentioned a number of times, has decided to part ways with
Yeah.
the song this year. What has kept you going with all of that in the background?
The belief in Eurovision. For me, Eurovision is political in the way that it is a loud, out and proud. Uh, how do you say? Mm, it echoes peace. And it's been since the beginning. And I've been on the Eurovision train for 50 years. I'm 52 years old. So since the age of 2, I've been, watching Eurovision. And it is just, how do you say, it's a beacon of peace and love for me. So that's what keeps me going. We need this. We have to have this in our lives. We have to keep Eurovision alive, keep the communication going between all these nations that live in Europe and outside of Europe as well. And once a year, we come together um, in 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 the, how do you say, in the belief of sharing our culture and singing for each other and with each other. And it's just magical. So I just absolutely believe in Eurovision.
So it really, again, it's putting things in such a beautiful way. One of the things that struck me about this was that there were polls that were conducted after Söngvakeppnin about the interest in Eurovision within Iceland, and the polls showed that the interest is quite low, or at least it did at the time. Do you have any sense that, as you know, because obviously it's been a few weeks since then, do you have any sense that that attitude has changed, and that maybe people are feeling more like you, who are seeing the real magic in Eurovision?
Yeah, I would say yes, definitely. What I hear is 95% or maybe more positive. People are happy that we are in Eurovision. People want Eurovision. There are loud voices against it, and we all know why. And I completely understand uh, how do you say, when people take that viewpoint, but it's just I don't agree with it. But I feel there are more. How do you say, the silent majority is with Eurovision. And these polls, of course, it's like maybe 1,000, 2,000 people that answer them. If there are so many, I think they are the people that like don't want to answer this question. They don't answer it. So those who really are opposed, they say it. The others, they're like, don't want to address it. So it's my sense that there are more people with it than against it.
And when we're talking about Iceland in general, Iceland is often seen as a country that loves Eurovision. One of the highest audience shares, I believe, out of all the countries that participate.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that people will eventually come around, even if they're not feeling it right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, when Söngvakeppnin was held in March, we were like expecting the viewings to drop, but they didn't. And we were expecting the voting to drop as well, but it didn't. So I think it's going to be the same. Of course, people who want to boycott, they will do that. But I I think that people will allow themselves to enjoy a little bit, and we are allowed to feel happiness and to feel hope. We must we must rise up to that like level of vibration, because without it we're all lost. So we need to have hope, and we need to have joy, and what better way than to sing together and dance.
Well, to kind of turn things to a more positive, on a more positive note, but still on the topic of Iceland, I learned that you're from Húsavik.
Yeah.
That
Well, actually, my father is born and raised there until he was like 12 years old.
okay.
So yeah, that's you could say that I have roots from there.
Okay, I mean that's close enough, I think, for especially for Eurovision fans, because obviously, I mean, most people would know, but in case they're newer, Húsavik plays a central role in the Eurovision movie.
Yeah.
What did you think about Húsavik in particular getting such a big spotlight on the even bigger platform that Netflix provides to the entire world?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fantastic. Of course, because it's also Birgitta, one of our previous Eurovision stars. She's from there. And so I was like, I felt it was like, yeah, that's fitting. And it's a beautiful, beautiful city, a little town in a very beautifully situated also in the north of Iceland. So I was really happy for them, and also it's nice, because I go there every year. Me and my family, we have our little how to say country cottage.
Okay.
we
Yeah.
where we do forestry and fun things in the summer. So we're about 20 minutes from Húsavik. So we it's like our way when we where we go shopping, we go there to shop for groceries, and so we all have very warm bonds with yeah, with Húsavik. So I was
Hmm.
really happy for them, and they've
Hmm.
been doing great in using that in their advantage, like marketing for tourism, and so that's good.
Hmm. And who would have thought that there would be a song called Húsavik, at the Oscars, nominated
Yeah.
for Best Original Song? How
I
crazy
mean,
is
no
that?
one, no one ever. But I mean, it's just so fantastic, and it was such a cute performance with a girl choir in Húsavik, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful setting and very Icelandic,
Hmm.
very much Icelandic. So yeah, I was thrilled. It was beautiful, and I love the movie. It's so silly, it's so funny and so over the top and not at all the reality of Eurovision. I mean, there's almost no drama between us, the contestants, backstage, but in the movie, it's
Hmm.
like, but it's funny. And so I really loved it. And the music was fantastic.
It was. I think the music was probably the best part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of great moments. I especially loved when after, well, maybe I won't spoil it, but the particular line, "The elves have gone too far," when a certain
Yeah.
moment happens.
Yeah, because our elves would never go this far.
It does seem a bit much. But you said about the drama, which obviously for cinematic purposes, like it makes sense that
Of
they would want to
course. It
heighten it a
had to
bit.
be. It
Yeah.
had to be.
But I think that should be highlighted a bit more because we see a lot of drama in between fans defending artists. There was a lot of drama about the top two from last year, people's dissatisfaction with the score, and I feel like that needs to be made a bit more clear. The reality of what it's like when you're an artist interacting with other artists.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I think I've said it before that it's more that we are not competing with each other, the contestants. We're just there doing our things. We can't change anything, or we just, we do our thing, do it as well as we can, and there's no drama. The drama is, like you say, out in the audience with the people that are rooting for us. It's a little bit probably similar to in the football field. I mean, it's all buddies. We're just doing our, what we do best, and then the people in the audience are like going nuts, and a lot of drama there.
Mm-hmm.
So there might it might, but it's for a film, it has to be drama like between. It's like, and it's Will Ferrell's like he's the best in making artist drama, like in the absolutely amazing movie that I can't remember now the name of, where they are skating,
Blades of
uh
Glory.
Blades of Glory. Oh, drama, I love it.
He's a character. He knows how to take things to absurd heights, and it's definitely a talent of his. Um,
Always a little bit further than anyone else would go. Love it.
but to bring it back to this year and the competition, quote unquote, because obviously it's a new year for you. What are you looking forward to most out of Eurovision this year?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to just being there to really embrace this bubble of love that Eurovision is, enjoying the visiting the hosts, Sweden, because they are so good at this. I know everything is going to be perfect. And if it's not, it's going to be fixed perfectly like this. It's going to be smooth. And I think even though we have people that are not agreeing with like my vision of what Eurovision stands for, I think we're going to have more possibilities of conversations because we're all there. Those who love it and those who are against it, they will show up. I really believe they will. And so I think the conversation is going to be, how do you say? We're going to take the conversation.
Hmm.
And I think that's the most valuable thing that we can take, we can do today is to meet and greet and talk.
Hmm. We definitely need to talk more. I think it's
Yeah.
we're living in a climate where
Yeah.
people really struggle to see things from the other side, and I think that if Eurovision
Yeah.
can do that, then it's definitely a strength.
Yeah, because when you physically meet a person, it's hard to keep up the negative vibes because you just it does communications it's non-functional,
Hmm.
so to speak. So we always need to like connect somewhere and start talking. And um I've seen it happen a million times. People who are don't maybe dislike you or don't like your song, or but when we meet, there's a new, like, it's undescribable. So
Hmm.
I think, but we all know what we're talking about.
Of course. Hera, I know that you have to go soon. Thank you so much. This was really lovely. One very last question: what would be the best possible outcome for you, regardless of results or anything? Best possible outcome
Oh,
from a personal point of view.
to fly to the final and give my amazing Icelandic nation a another party on the Saturday. That would be the best gift for me and my team. I know because we've worked hard and we want to be there in the final. For me personally, just all the connections, all the conversations, all the people that I'm gonna be like bringing home with me in my heart after this is the biggest thing. The relationships that I'm and the memories.
Hmm.
It's just I love those, and I still have so many good ones from 2010, and yeah. So it's all about that. For me, it's about how do you say it? In Iceland we say uppliven. In Sweden we say upplevelse. In English we say uppliven. Oh, I don't have the word in English.
I'm really curious to learn this because I'm going to be in Malmö and I want some words that I can use. But maybe somebody
Yeah,
can tell us in the comments. Maybe that's where we can leave
yeah,
it.
upplevelse. It's yeah, oh, it's completely gone, the English word. Uppliven opplevelse. Please help us, viewers.
Well, anyway, thank you so much. This was really lovely. I'm so glad that you had the time to talk to me, and I look
Thank
forward to
you
seeing you
so
in
much.
Malmö.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Stuart, and to all of you. And enjoy this year's Eurovision.